We've all gotten used to AI. It can write an email, maybe even a half-decent poem. But something is changing, and it's changing fast. AI is starting to break out of that little chat box, and it's taking on a whole new life. So what does this new era of AI actually look like? Let's dig in. And that brings us to the big question, the one that's on everyone's mind. We know AI can chat, but can it actually do stuff? Not just answer questions, can it perform complex, multi-step tasks? Maybe even parts of your job? The reason we're even asking this question is because AI is having a fundamental identity crisis. For years, we've thought of it as a tool, a passive thing, like a hammer. You pick it up, you tell it what to do, but that's the old way. Now it's becoming an active agent, something that can act all on its own. So let's start with our first major trend. AI is getting a job. And I don't mean that figuratively. I mean it's starting to perform real, complex, autonomous tasks. It's evolving from a simple chatbot into, a digital employee. So what exactly is an AI agent? Well, think of it this way. Instead of just answering your question, an agent can actually take action. It can use tools. For instance, the new ChatGPT agent gets its own little virtual computer where it can browse the web, open a spreadsheet, or check a calendar to get a task done from start to finish. Okay, so what does this look like in the real world? Imagine you give it a prompt like, analyze my competitors and make me a slide deck. The old AI would just spit out some text, but the agent, it actually goes out, browses the web, pulls the relevant data, and then builds you a fully editable slideshow. It doesn't just answer, it does. That's the key difference. And you can see just how powerful this is by looking at the numbers. On a really hard math benchmark, the previous model barely scraped by with about a 6% score. The new agent, over 27%. That is a massive, more than 4 times leap in its ability to actually use tools to figure stuff out. And listen, this isn't just an OpenAI thing. Other companies are jumping on this. There's a platform called Warmwind that's building what they literally call cloud employees. These are AI agents designed to do boring office work, and they learn how just by watching a person do the job once. All right, so that's the digital world. Trend number 2 is where things get really wild. AI is getting a body. That same intelligence that's learning to do your spreadsheets is now moving out of the screen and into physical, humanoid robots. Now, the biggest thing holding this back has always been the price tag. But look at this number, $5,900. That's it. That is the price for a brand new, full-sized humanoid robot from Unitree. For less than the price of a decent used car, this technology just became shockingly accessible. And for that price, you're not getting some cheap toy. The R1 can walk, it can run, it can do cartwheels, it can even hold a simple conversation. It's totally customizable for developers, and get this, it can even get back up by itself if it falls over. This isn't just a prototype, it's a real, capable platform. But giving AI a physical body brings a whole new level of unpredictability. During a test of a similar robot, engineers had it on a crane. And out of nowhere, it just started flailing like crazy. One of the engineers, totally shocked, just yelled this out. And this is so crucial. How we see these events really matters. The public reaction you saw online was, oh my God, it's a killer robot attack. But the technical cause, it was way more boring. A control glitch just got triggered because its feet weren't on the ground. Understanding both sides here is going to be key as we see more of these things. Okay, so AI has a job. It has a body. And at the exact same time, it's getting smarter. But not just through brute force. Researchers are finding these incredibly clever new shortcuts to build a better AI brain, way more efficiently than before. So here's a perfect example. A new technique called assembly of experts. Now, instead of spending a fortune to train a new AI from scratch, they figured out how to basically perform brain surgery, fusing the smartest parts of several existing AIs into one new super intelligent brain. And the difference here is just night and day. Traditional training is painfully slow. It costs millions of dollars in computer time. This new fusion method, it's fast, it's cheap, and it brilliantly recycles the intelligence we've already paid for. It's a total game changer for efficiency. And it's not just about making AI more powerful, it's also about making it better. For example, researchers at Google are training a model to be more honest. It's learning to ignore all the stylish fluff and marketing speak you find online and focus only on the actual facts. So with all this new power emerging, you know what happens next, right? A massive corporate battle is heating up. It's a race to own the interface, the main door that all of us will use to interact with AI. And right now, that battlefield is the web browser. For what feels like forever, Google Chrome has been the undisputed king, but its reign is now being seriously challenged. Both OpenAI and the startup Perplexity are launching their own AI-first browsers, and they're aiming to become our new gateway to everything. And don't underestimate their ambition. I mean, when an OpenAI executive was asked about this in a hearing, this was their response. The goal isn't just to compete, it's to control the entire platform where these new AI agents are going to live and work. The stakes are huge. So, where does this all leave us? Well, we're stepping into a new world that's defined by both incredible promise and some very real peril. The potential rewards have never been higher, but neither have the risks. On the promise side of the equation, you have this, a perfect 100%. That was the success rate of an AI surgical robot from Johns Hopkins that performed gallbladder surgery all by itself on a model. This is the kind of technology that is literally going to save people's lives. But then, on the peril side, you have incidents like these. And you see the same pattern every time. A robot flails on a crane, and the public reaction is Terminator. A robot lurches at a festival, and people are scared. But the technical cause is almost always something mundane, like a coding fault or a glitch. And managing that gap between fear and fact, that's our real challenge. You know, maybe the best way to think about all this comes from the team at the Humanoid Fub. They said, we're in the same phase with robotics that we were in with cars 100 years ago. They were chaotic, unpredictable, and kind of dangerous at first, too. That wasn't a reason to stop, but it was a really good reason to start building some guardrails. So in what feels like the blink of an eye, AI has gotten a job, it's gotten a body, and it's gotten a much smarter brain. All the fundamental pieces are now on the board. So the only real question left for us is, what kind of world are we going to build with them?